Number 5. Naruto takes place 12 years after the attack of the Nine-Tailed Demon Fox, in which he gets sealed in Naruto Uzumaki, the spiky-haired hero, as he joins up with Sasuke Uchiha, the emo bitch, and the useless slut Sakura Haruno, as they form Team 7 under Kakashi Hatake. And because it has a really long plot that takes up 100 to 300 episodes between the two seasons, I'm going to try and sum it up. Sasuke hates his brother and meets up with creepy snake dude Orochimaru. Naruto is all mad and tries to bring him back and fails, and Sakura does nothing at all but whine. Yeah, she's useless. 3 years later, a group called the Akatsuki are stealing all the Jinchuriki, of which Naruto is one. And then Sasuke kills his brother and finds out some shit and becomes even more evil and emo. And Sakura is still useless. The action and fight scenes in this are amazing. Probably ranking up in my top favorite fighting scenes of all time. The story is okayish and becomes confusing and weird at points, but it still makes my number 5. Number 4. Sophie is a hatter, a respectable young woman who encounters a mysterious wizard named Hal, while on her way to visit her younger sister. The Witch of the Waste, who pursues Hal, comes to the hat shop and curses Sophie. By transferring her into an old woman seeking a cure, Sophie travels into the waste and finds a living scarecrow, voiced by Crispin Freeman, one of my favorite actors, who takes her to Hal's castle. Here, Sophie meets the fire demon Calcifer, the source of Castle's energy and power. Calcifer offers to break the curse in exchange for Sophie herself in breaking the spell he is under, which keeps Calcifer bound to the house, and when Hal appears, Sophie announces that she is the new castle's cleaning lady. This is an absolutely beautiful looking anime movie, with an equally good plot and a great character development. It has literally everything I could possibly want, because it is by Studio Ghibli, one of the best companies in the world. I just love their movies so fucking much. And the only reason it's in number 4 is because while my top 3 are equally as good, I just seem to like those other better. But it deserves its place as my number 4. Number 3. Sword Art Online is an anime that takes place in a VR MMO, or a virtual reality massively multiplayer online RPG. On November 6, 2022, all the players log in for the first time, and subsequently discover that they are unable to log out. They are informed by Kayaba Akihiro, the creator of SAO, that if they wish to be free, they have to reach the 100th floor of the game and defeat the final boss. However, if their avatars die in game, their bodies will also die in real life. The story follows Kirito, a skilled player who is determined to beat the game. As the game progresses for 2 years, Kirito eventually befriends a female player named Asuna, with whom he ultimately falls in love with, and the duo discover the true identity of Kaiba's avatar in SAO. They can confront him and defeat him, freeing themselves and the other players from the game. This anime has some really fucking great action scenes, like a really good action. That's how good they are. I can't speak how good they are. and a wonderful backplot and an amazeball soundtrack, of which I have listened to a bajillion times. But the reason it's not number 1 or 2 is because it doesn't develop much after the first and second episode. And the random time jump leaves out too much. While yes, Asuna and Kirito's relationship is great, and one of the best anime couples I know, it doesn't make much sense, as you really never see the two together for the first half of the season. It never really develops its characters past the 5th episode, in which like it only focuses on the relationship between Kirito and Asuna, and that kind of bugs me, and that is why it's number 3. But despite that, it's an amazing anime, making it number 3. Number 2. The anime takes place in a timeline in which the Britannian Empire has overtaken Japan, dubbing it Area 11, and its people, the 11s. Lelouch approaches the series protagonist. He is an intelligently excelled Britannian prince who is sent to Japan as a bargaining tool along with his sister Nana by his father, Emperor Charles V. Britannian, after his mother Maria V. Britannian was killed. When Maria was murdered, Nani was set up as a false witness. Because of this, her sight and her ability to walk were taken from her. This makes it difficult for Lelouch, because he must take care of her while in Japan during the war. After the war, in the ruins of Japan City, he then vows to his Japanese friend Suzaku Kurogi that one day he will obliterate Britannia. 7 years later, Lelouch gets caught up in the terrorist attack and finds a girl called C2, who saves Lelouch's life from the Britannian Royal Guard by making him formally contract that will grant Lelouch the power known as Gios, which gives him the power to make anyone do what he wants by looking at him. Beats a fucking Death Note any day. The plot to this anime is that of Howl's Moving Castle and Death Note combined. It is that amazing to me. And the characters are a lot like the ones of Death Note. L being Suzaku and Lelouch being Light. But, you know, Lelouch having the wit and genius of L and Light combined, and Suzaku being the form of justice in this. But since it has mechs, and it's pretty much just mechs with Death Note, and that's just awesome. I love it. I love it a lot, and that makes it my number 2. Number 1! The adventures of adult Goku, who along with his companions defends the Earth against an assortment of villains, ranging from intergalactic space fighters and conquerors to unnaturally powered androids and near-indestructible magical creatures. While the original Dragon Ball anime followed Goku through his childhood into adulthood, Dragon Ball Z is a continuation of his adulthood, but in the same time parallels the maturation of his son, Gohan, as well as the characters from Dragon Ball Z and more. While the story and plot of this anime may not be as strong as, say, Naruto or Death Note, it is still pretty good, showing that with hard work anything is possible. The characters get a well dose of development every saga, with only a little bit of unexplained time skips, such as Teen Gohan to fucking Saiyaman. The action scenes are some of the best I've seen, and that might be because they've been dragged on for too long, but that's what makes it Dragon Ball Z, and this is why it's my number 1.